Okay, so I'm on page 8. Page 8 does not introduce anything that is new, but it takes those notes we know, D, E, F sharp, and G, and puts them into 3 songs. We have 3 songs: Hopscotch, Morning Dance, Rolling Along. Just a reminder, your book may not look like this. I'm using a violin book today, okay? So, what we want to notice about Hopscotch is every single note either moves down 1 spot or moves up 1 spot. As we go down, we are taking fingers off of the fingerboard. As the dot goes up, we are putting fingers down, okay? So we start on G, and then another G, and even though we know that the next note is marked F sharp, we notice that the dot went down, so we just take a finger off. You don't even need to think about every single note as you play it. The next one, you notice, is going down as well. It's not in the same spot, so you take another finger off. This one stays in the same place, so you play the same note again. And this one goes up, so you're adding fingers. This whole song is what I call a roller coaster. You're either taking 1 finger off or adding 1 finger, okay? But keep in mind, cellos, remember that when you're going from E to F sharp, you're actually going 1, 2, 3, okay? Now, 18, we have what I call a leap. Right here, we go from F to D, which means if you're a violinist or violist, you're going from 2 to 0. If you're a cellist, you're going from 3 to 0. If you're a bass player, you're going from 4 to 0. Now, this leap is not hard because you're just taking fingers off, okay? It's harder to make a leap up. And when I say leap, what I mean by that is you are skipping a note. Anytime you skip a note, like going from D to F, or E to G, or D to A, you are skipping notes in between, and I call that a leap. If we're going 1 note at a time, I call that a roller coaster. But if we're hopping around, I call that a leap, okay? So this one, you have G, G, F. That's not a leap because you're going from 1 note to the next note. Then you have a leap from F to D. Now that's an easy leap. However, the next thing you do is you're going from D to G, which is a massive leap. The only person this is easy for is the bass player because all you're doing is changing strings. Okay, but you have to go from 0 to 3 or 0 to 4 if you're a cellist, okay? But when you do this, make sure when you're going from F to D and you go to D, you take your fingers off, but don't take them super far away, okay? That way you can throw 3 fingers down to make it into a G, because you have to go from D to G, and you don't want to come from all the way far over here. So you go fingers off for D, and then fingers pounce back to G, okay? Let me show you that on the paper. G, G, F, take all the fingers off, D, jump back to G, G. So the key is when you go from here to here, don't take your fingers off too far. Okay, we have a repeat, which means go back to the beginning. This second part is not as hard because it's just a roller coaster going up. 19 is basically just Mary Had a Little Lamb, written a different way. You don't have to play any G's in this song, so I know the violins, violas, and cellos are super happy. And the entire thing is a roller coaster. Just notice that when you finish this first line, you then go to the next line, okay?